And welcome to episode 2, but episode 1 of Harald Unbound, Harald Steelclaw in Skyrim. This is my recorded version, my playthrough, my play-along for the Couch Warrior series, Skyrim Unbound. It fits nicely with some of the things that I have done in the past on YouTube and some of the things that we have done on our own podcast and YouTube channel at Skyrim Addict. So I thought it would be fun to follow along with Character Crusade and the people there because they do such a wonderful job. So here we are. Now if you've read the description in the video, or you've come here from Character Crusade and the Discord channel and a link there or wherever, you'll know some of Harald's backstory. So I won't go into it deeply, but let's just say that he's come back to Skyrim recently. He's almost 50 years old. He is a Khajiit, as you can see. He wears heavy armor. He's been through a lot in his life. He's done a lot of things that he is proud of and some things that he regrets.
Fishing in these parts for years.
And he's been spending a lot of time with these very boring hunters who don't say much more than they've been fishing and hunting in these parts for years. He's been here with them for a few months. He fell in with them as he crossed the border into Skyrim, and he's just been trying to come down from 10 years in prison. It's tough being in prison. It changes any person, cat, any being being confined like that, like an animal. And he's just decompressing, coming back to the land of his youth, where he spent so many good years before the wars. It's been a few months now, and he's getting the feeling that it's time to strike out. He's heard about this museum. Not sure where it is. There were just rumors about it, but it's a museum that's looking for people to find relics and treasures that the museum can display. And that seems like something that's right up his alley. Harald has never been afraid, as most Khajiits never are, of a little bit of skullduggery, perhaps a little bit of legerdemain. So he's perfectly willing to steal and pilfer his way across Skyrim, as well as adventure and do mercenary work if he feels like it might be suitable for him, since he certainly has a lot of experience as a warrior. But it's time to move on from these hunters. They're good people, but simple, but for now it's late in the evening, and it's probably time to sleep. So a little bit of what we do here on my channel anyway, as you may know if you've just come here or not and have watched some of my other videos, we're not afraid to talk about mods. We're not afraid to bring the mods in to the game as we play it. This is not a strict and immersed role play. We have a character. We keep to the character's, high points, low points, and all of that. But it's about playing the game of Skyrim, enjoying the game of Skyrim, and enjoying the best thing about Skyrim, and that is its amazing openness. It's the creativity of being able to make Skyrim into any game you want, really, within certain limits, obviously. We do talk about mods, and I'm sorry. There are lots and lots and lots of YouTubers out there, so if you're looking for somebody who does strict role plays, Rykon is wonderful. A lot of Stu's work from Character Crusade qualifies as that, and it's awesome as well. So there's lots of other YouTubers out there. This is not to say, though I'm sort of nattering on a lot about it right now, I just want people to know from the very outset that we will talk about mods. This is not to say that I'm going to spend hours just screwing around with mods, but you should know that occasionally we'll step out of character or step out of the game and look at a mod or do things. So here we are. This particular little mod is called Simple Actions, and it's something that we're going to bind to our favorites so that we can select it quickly, as well as create item, which is part of Hunterborn, forage, which is part of Hunterborn. It's unlikely that Harald is going to have a follower. Well, that's actually not true. I think Harald probably will have 1 or 2 followers over time, but we're not going to favorite that up quite yet. Primitive Cooking, Scrimshaw, and Instincts. These are things that we want to have available on our little quick menu here. So right now we've got actions set up. So Simple Actions just allows you to do something which you should be able to do wherever you want, and that is just simply lie down near a fire. I don't have to have a bedroll. I don't have to have a tent. I will, but you know what? I'm near a warm fire, and I'm simply going to lay down next to the fire, and I'm gonna just go to sleep. I mean, Harald is a cat. He's got fur. Occasionally, this little mod can cause issues. Yes, it can. So we'll see. But anyway, so Simple Actions, highly recommended. Not just for sleeping where you want to, but for sitting, meditating, hanging out, doing all kinds of just simple things that one would do in the course of one's life. So here we are. We're going to sleep, and then we're going to eat and drink. So I'm rested, and to get up, we just stand up. Try to avoid getting our tail in the fire too much there. Don't want to singe that fur. And it's early in the morning. We're definitely hungry. We do have a little bit of food we've been able to collect as we've hunted along here. I'll drink some vegetable soup and eat a Horker loaf. And we need to get down there to that water. If you'll pardon me for one moment, I do need to shut something. So, Harald is not schooled in the ways of alchemy, but he certainly knows enough about it to want to learn. So we're going to be collecting ingredients as we move along here, and we're going to be certainly and hopefully collecting ingredients from the hunting that we do and learning about that. We're also going to be very cautious. As we approach Dustman's cairn in a storm here. It's dark and stormy. Let's just wait under this tree here. Just gonna wait for... we have enemies nearby. Okay, well, this could be interesting. Let's make sure we bind this correctly, and also make sure that we bind our shield. We will absolutely try to find a heavy shield soon, but until then all we have is this hide shield. So we're going to bind that to 3. And Harald is capable of sneaking, which the blue outline will show you, and as long as he's near some kind of obstruction, this is one of his talents granted to him by the mod Imperius. I realize how difficult it is for anybody to see right now. This being a YouTube video that is already dark, we're going to try to stay hidden here as much as possible and find some skeletons. So we're just going to run. Must have run afoul of that spot near Dustman's Cairn. I don't know what it's called. But let's go back into sneak here. Hopefully we can find some water soon. That's good. Hidden again. One thing that Harald has learned in Skyrim is that at night, if you're looking for water, it's handy to look for the glow of the Nirnroot. So he's going to try to find a little high point here and see if he can see Nirnroot, because where Nirnroot grows there is water. Don't see any. That's very unfortunate. I see an elk there, however. If we can sneak up on this elk. Nope. He sensed us. Well, let's keep going. We're not going to... we've learned enough, having been back in Skyrim for only a few months, that it's become in many ways a more dangerous place than Harald knew as a young Khajiit back in the 150s. There seem to be many more bandits, and so it is a glow, and there is some water, in fact. So let's get a drink, because I think that Harald is incredibly thirsty right now. Now back to the road, because we can see Whiterun off in the distance there, and between hanging with the hunters and selling pelts and skins and meat and other forageable items. Speaking of foraging, let's going to set forage on here. Harald wants to gather as much as he can. He certainly does know the ways of the flora and fauna here in Skyrim. So he's saved a fair amount of coin, about 1,600 gold, since he crossed the border with the hunters. So he's going to head for Whiterun and try to buy some supplies. I think it's about time. He certainly is ready to leave these hunters, as we said. He also knows quite well that in Skyrim, whether back then or now, the safest place to be is on the road. Traveling cross country is dangerous, but we're going to keep our sword and shield out just in case, because anything can happen. He remembers Whiterun. He remembers parking the caravans outside the gates there. He certainly remembers the resentment of the citizens of Skyrim. They are an insular and somewhat, I guess one could say, racist people. However, Harald has come to be able to forgive that, having experienced similar emotions in his own life and suffered the consequences of them. So I think he understands to an extent how a people can become, as a group, racist. Tribal, I think, is perhaps a better way of putting it. That's not to say that's a good thing necessarily, but it is an understandable thing. That's something that Harald has come to realize in his life. And so all that to say that he can understand now a little better than he did when he was young, the feelings that the Nords have and the negativity that he experienced when he was in his kittenhood and was not able to enter the cities simply because he was a Khajiit. But now, some of that has changed. Some of it hasn't. I think he realizes that he still gets looks, he's still mistrusted, so he's going to put his sword and shield away before he enters the city. And
By Izmir, it's true. A jester, funny suit and all. Just north by the Loria's farm.
a jester.
There's a nip in the air. Cold won't be good for my crop.
The nip in the air. The nip in the air is something that Harald has missed in having been in prison in Hammerfell for the last 10 years, where it was hot and dry. Not something he's used to, even though he is Khajiit, and certainly the desert sands aren't unfamiliar to the Khajiit race. Harald did not grow up in elsewhere, even though he spent a couple of years there trying to like it, never got used to it. He feels much more at home here in the cold and snowy north. My load screens can be long. We have a lot of mods loaded here, as you have seen if you've watched the first episode, prologue.
I just can't fill an order that size on my own. Why don't you swallow that stubborn pride of yours and ask Yorland Greymane for help?
I'd sooner bend my knee to Ulfric's Stormcloak.
Yes?
Besides, Greymane would never make steel for the Legion.
Have it your way. I'll take the job, but don't expect a miracle.
Harald certainly knows of the civil war that's going on. He has mixed feelings about it, but he's certainly loyal to the Empire, so it's unlikely that he would ever take the side of the Stormcloaks in this conflict. Whether he takes sides or not is something that remains to be seen. But before anything, it's time to stop into the inn, perhaps have an ale, perhaps check the notice board here for any quests that Harald feels he's suited for right now. Pelts is something that he could probably do. Or Falmer, no, he knows well enough who and what the Falmer are. And nothing else here looks suitable right now. Rescuing citizens and capturing escaped criminals is something that Harald feels he could probably do in the future, but right now he's still pretty rusty and still pretty weak from all those years in the prison cells. So pelts is probably just about all he can manage right now. So let's run into the Bannered Mare and visit, sit down, have an ale, enjoy the warm fire, and just relax. Well, there doesn't seem to be a seat at the bar.
Guards. We are nothing more than nearsighted
I'll send someone over.
Oh God, are we gonna have to sit next to one of these boring drunkards again?
Sadia, wake up there.
Hello?
If it's work you need, how about chopping up some wood for the fire?
No, actually, I'm more interested
Take a
in an ale. May I purchase an ale? Let's see. Well, mead will be suitable if there's some mead. I think maybe a little bit of bread. I'd like some bread and some goat cheese. Maybe a couple of apples. And come on now, you've got to have some kind of there we go, mead. We'll get our own meat, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. I am looking for work occasionally. Is there anything...
Here, take a look at this. Some of the Jarl's men came by and left this bounty letter.
Silent Moons. I know that place. I think we'll stay away from there for a while. Ah, yes, mead. Excellent. And a green apple. And maybe some of that bread. Ah, much better.
What can I get you?
You know what?
Hungry, tired, or just plain thirsty?
I
Let's
am
sate that
thirsty,
appetite,
and
huh?
I'm wondering if perhaps you have a water skin for sale. Do you have any water skins? No. This is very unfortunate. I'll find one somewhere
I think I've got some
else.
mugs need scrubbing.
Nope. I'm sure you do.
Yes, I haven't got
Thank you.
all day.
We're going to run over to the store here and speak with
I spend a lot of time at the market stall, so I
Our
know the merchants trade.
local merchant, see if we can buy some supplies, because we really need to get out there and do a little adventuring. It's time to break free from the hunters.
I haven't got all day.
Well, then leave me alone, because
Everything's for
I
sale,
sure
my
don't have
friend.
all day either.
Everything. But,
Uncommon taste. No, not interested.
sister, I'd sell her in a second.
Labradorite. That's an interesting item. That really makes
I'd even buy one of your
Harold's
relatives if
eyes
you're looking to
twinkle.
sell. Yeah, that's a little joke.
Twinkle a lot. Well, anyway.
You just let me know what you need. I am at your beck and call.
Well, good.
Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing.
And then we're going to head to the alchemist, because we know
Do come back.
that it's important to have a mortar and pestle.
So you're interested in my potions and ingredients?
Well, mainly, Arcadia, I'm interested in whether you have a mortar and pestle. And you do. Excellent. So,
Come back anytime if you
thank
need
you
a
very
remedy.
much. Thank you, Arcadia. We're off to the Drunken Huntsman, which we noticed on our way in. It sounds like the perfect place to buy a bow.
I've been looking for you.
You've been looking
Got
for
something I'm
me?
supposed to deliver.
Really?
Your hands only.
Okay.
Let's see here. A note from someone named Calselmo. in Markarth.
Calselmo.
Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Markarth. It's not a place that Harald's family went very often. They were mostly between Whiterun and
Let me know if you see anything.
Dawnstar. But once in a while they visited Markarth. That's a very fine looking bow there.
Ah, hello, my Khajiit friend. In the market for some hunting supplies.
I would like a fine bow, sir.
Take a look.
Now, please tell me that you're going to try to sell me a spring steel bow with the same damage value as an imperial bow for almost twice the price? That's outrageous, sir. Outrageous. I think that right now what we can afford is a fine hunting bow, and that's all we'll really need. We can improve that a little bit with some wood. We have enough skill for that. So let's just stick to that for now, as things stand. Thank you, Elrondir.
Thank you very much
may
for your business.
may your trails be happy ones, and
I'll be happy to assist you if you'd like to purchase something.
you just did, yes. Thank you very much. Now that piece of labradorite is just tickling the back of Harold's brain. He just can't quite get that out of his skull. And well, let's just check the missive board here. Is there anything interesting? Raw rabbit legs. Now we can hunt rabbits. That's certainly something we can do. We could deliver a letter to Riverwood. Harold knows that's nearby. And the rabbit leg. Perhaps even iron ore. That's easy enough to get. But killing bandit leaders is not quite his speed right now. So let's just take a look at all these items we've gathered to read. Collect raw rabbit leg. Let's see. We're running out of supplies at Riverwood. If you can bring us some raw rabbit leg, you can expect some gold and a hearty meal. That sounds excellent. I'm definitely down with that. And another... looking for a courier to deliver a letter to a friend in Riverwood. You will receive an upfront payment from me and payment on delivery. They're expecting the letter soon, so be sure to deliver it on time. Suspicious scribe. Well, how do we find suspicious scribe? Well, we're going to have to figure that one out on our own. And let's see. Iron ore. Looking for someone to collect iron ore. No, I do not want to scarp. Ulfberth Warbear. Some gold and a spare weapon or armor piece I have as a reward. Okay, good. Iron ore is not hard to find. Bounty. We have the bounty for bandits here. This is a Balgrove bounty. Silent Moons that we're going to probably not take on quite yet. But Ozlfur wants 16 wolf pelts. You know, Ozlfur, I might be able to collect that many for you at some point, but right now I think I'm going to want those wolf pelts for myself. So we're not going to take on that quest quite yet. But the ore and the rabbit leg, 10 of them. That's a lot of rabbits. Certainly they are profligate, but the first thing we want to do is see if we can find our suspicious scribe. It looks like they're probably in the Bannered Mare. This is what I would have guessed. But maybe not. Maybe they're up in Dragon's Reach.
Mister, could you spare a coin?
Who said that? Young one.
I'm so hungry.
I'm sorry. Here, have a gold piece.
Oh, thank you. Divines, bless your kind heart.
And bless yours, child. Bless yours. Ah, these Talos worshippers. A bunch of fools, if you ask me. Alright, the beautiful, beautiful palace of Dragon's Reach. Well, I don't see any scribes here. Oh, there's a scribe right there. Excuse me, sir.
I can't talk right now.
But I'm here for the delivery job you posted. He says, of course. Deliver the letter to Sven in Riverwood by 20 of last seed. And the date now is 18th of last seed, so we better get moving. It's not a good time to be approaching the Jarl or the Jarl's housecarl.
Good job.
Harald knows enough about the capricious ways of Jarls that it's a bad idea to approach them unless invited. So,
do you get to the Cloud District very often? Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't.
I was just there, sir. He's Redguard. Just can't.
I spend a
Harald
lot of time
just,
at the market stalls.
he's trying. He really is. He's trying very hard.
I
Trying
work
very
with
hard.
my mother to sell fruits and vegetables. It's fun most.
We need to see if we can improve our bow first. He knows enough about that. Anyway, the pigeons are added by a little mod by Mikhail, who has been producing amazing and wonderful creature mods for the last year or so.
Got some good pieces.
Let's see if we can improve our
More inside.
huntsman's. No, leather strips, not wood. Well.
You there. We're looking for someone in Whiterun. We will pay good money for information.
You should stay away from me, sir. You should simply stay away.
He cannot hide from us forever.
Don't push me, sir.
I don't claim to be the best blacksmith.
I think it's worth buying some
Blades,
leather
helmets,
strips.
pretty much anything to suit your needs.
Let's see. I suspect that you have at least a few leather strips. So let's just buy 4. No, 2 at that price. How much is some iron ore? Or iron ingots? I'm going to buy 2 iron ingots. And we're going to try to improve...
Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
Our armor first. Yes, and
That's some
I
good
think
armor you put together.
our boots or our gauntlets, which do you think would be best? I think the boots. And then we're going to improve our bow with some leather strips. Excellent. Yes. Sir, you're standing on my head. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's extremely rude. I was not aware that the people in Whiterun had become quite so rude. But I have been away a long time, so I'm not too surprised, I guess. That labradorite is still... That's still just tickling the back of Harald's brain. He just can't get it out of his head. Let's see. This is Bellathor's shop here. Harald is patient.
Go! You're not wanted here! You need to leave!
Well, it seems that he was detected even though he thought he was hidden. Well, there's a guard there. Let's see if we can sneak back in. I guess he was standing there just a little too long. And Bellathor saw him. Ooh. Jade Dragon. Shh. Don't say anything. Be very quiet and just run away.
Sorry. Nothing.
Just run away.
I fear the night, because the werewolves and vampires don't.
Well, that was certainly interesting. A giant appears right here. I think I know where that giant came from. We'll just chalk that up to some random events. Perhaps the companions decided that they would drop the giant's body at the gates of Whiterun to prove to the Jarl their worth. But that seems a little cruel to Harald. Harald hasn't got much use for the companions, I'm afraid. But anyway, that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And this is the beginning of a long and hopefully fun journey for Harald and anybody who's watching. We're going to head to Riverwood next and deliver that letter. We're going to try to collect some raw rabbits, and deliver them to the inn there. I believe Orgnar is the the proprietor of the inn. At least that's what Harald guesses, since he knows that there's an inn in Riverwood. And until next time, thanks for watching. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please like or subscribe if you haven't already. And as Harald stands here on this ledge and looks down at some of his own people there, he's going to go down and visit and probably just have a little sleep in front of that fire and just enjoy the company of his own kin. So until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the YouTubes.